Hi, and welcome to the general reading for the week of October 22nd, 2018. If you are tuning in and it is not the week of October 22nd, 2018, do know that this is a timeless reading. If you were attracted to this reading, then there's probably some wisdom in it for you, so go ahead and keep on watching. For today's pick a card reading, the blue pile will be pile number 1, the green pile will be pile number 2, and the yellow pile will be pile number 3. Before I begin, I just want to say thank you guys so much. You guys are hitting all of my goals so much faster than I thought that I would. So I really do appreciate every single view, every single subscribe, every like. I love all the feedback you guys are giving me. Again, I read every single comment. I am unable to reply to every single comment at this point though, because they're just coming in so fast, but I love it, and I just love all the feedback that I'm getting. If there's anything that you need to know about me, you can find it in the description. You will notice that my emergency readings, those are readings that you can get and get your answer within 36 hours. Super fast paced, right? The price for those are going up just because I'm getting so many regular readings that I need to make certain that I'm pacing myself well. So just wanted to say that. Otherwise, everything is the same. So yeah, let's get started on this though. Okay, let's start with the blue pile, pile number 1. Right, those of you guys who picked the blue pile. Okay, the Tarot of Pagan Cats, you've got Emperor energy, you've got Empress energy, and you've got the Death card. So some major changes going on right now. Or maybe like an ending of something. Since it... I guess the very first thing I need to point out, actually, so let me kind of roll back a little bit. The first thing I need to point out is that you have 3 major arcana cards this week. That indicates to me that this is going to be a big week. Let's go ahead and look at this card for the general. Savoring pleasure. Okay, I fully embrace the bliss in my life, so this looks like it's going to be good too. And the Lenormand, we've got the bear and the star. So you've got... you'll find that you are really embracing your destiny. The star can also refer to people being stars, like being a little famous. So you might get some attention. But for me, the star is more about destiny, fate, finding direction, you know, in life and that kind of thing. And the bear is just like a very strong personality, success, that kind of thing. Somebody who gets stuff done. Somebody who's worked really, really hard, you know, and is able to get things done. So this looks like an area of your life this week is really starting to like just click into place. You're getting things taken care of, you know. This whole savoring pleasure, it makes me like feel as though I've just completed like a really huge project, like at work, for example, and now I'm able to relax, you know. So as why that makes sense, you know, and I'm just giving this as an example, okay? It's just pretend. Why that makes sense is like, let's say death represents the ending of the project, and then the Emperor and the Empress are both, the Emperor's like just, you know, master of that male energy, the authority, the discipline, and all of that, and then you've got the Empress who is basically the master of the emotions and intuition and nurturing energy. And so you've got a very balanced, you're in a very balanced place, and you can now just kind of rest. So whatever story it is for you, basically what I'm getting is that there's an ending. It's positive though. This is at the very beginning, you know, of the reading, okay? So this ending is going to be happening, or it's already happened, okay? Like it's going to be happening very soon, or it's already happened. And then you feel really balanced. You've got masculine and feminine energy right there. So you're feeling like, man, I really brought it. I really put all of myself into whatever it is that you did, okay? Or whatever it is that you're doing. It could be a present thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be a past thing. But the energy is just that you're feeling you're just feeling very present in your power, in your energy. You've got a strong sight of where you're going and where you're gonna be. You might be getting some attention because of just where you are, you know, and then you're able to rest. You're able to just savor the moment of a job well done. And I keep evoking those phrases like work, job, project, you know. It doesn't necessarily have to be in your job, like in the job area of your life. It could be anything else. It could even be in a relationship, that kind of thing. It's just where you are is going to be really enjoying the fact that you did a good job with something in your life. So that looks really good. I would be very happy getting this reading myself. So yeah, that looks like very positive energy for you guys, major energy. Wish you guys very well with that. On to pile number 2. This is the green stone. All right. So we've got some water energy here. We've got the 4 of Cups, the 5 of Cups, and the 7 of Swords. Okay. Okay. All right, here. Let's go ahead and start here. Now the 4 of Cups is when we're like really focusing on one thing, okay? And when we're focusing on that one thing, that's great, okay? Sometimes that can be appropriate, especially if it's a matter of the heart. When like something is first beginning, you know, something that really excites us, something that really stirs our emotions, something that we're just really intuitively certain of, and that kind of thing. It's important to focus on your goals and focus on your dreams and focus on all of that wonderful energy that you get from feeling your feelings completely and all of that kind of thing. But as you're focusing on that and you're kind of lying around, you're daydreaming and that kind of stuff, which is great. That's an important process of the creativity process as we as humans go through, okay? As you're thinking about that, you've got these other things that you're kind of ignoring, so things can kind of build up a little bit, right? You can kind of maybe ignore some of the other things, and then when they build up, this is Cups card, right? So when they build up and you're forced to look at them, then you start feeling like panicked. You start feeling, oh no, I have to do all of these things. This card isn't necessarily a warning against doing that. It's just telling you this is your energy right now. You're focusing on something, and that could be very positive or it could be negative. I'm getting a very neutral vibe from this. So given that this is a group reading, I feel as though some of you guys it's very, very positive. Some of you guys it might be very negative, and for most of you guys it's a pretty neutral situation, right? And then we've got the 5 of Cups, okay? And we've got to look at this as a story, okay? Because that's the way that a lot of readings come forward, okay? And we've got these symbols, and we're supposed to interpret them like maybe a dream, right? So you've got these 3 cups right here and the 4 of Cups. Now you've got the 5 of Cups, and you've got these 3 cups that have fallen over and spilled. What I think this card is telling you is like, whoa, you know, try to redirect your focus so that these things don't fall apart, okay? This is telling me that this can be prevented, and that you just gotta make sure those 3 that you're not paying attention to, or whatever the areas are in your life that you're not paying as much attention to. For example, I'll just use myself as an example. Right now in my life, I'm not paying as much attention to my physical needs for sleep and getting really healthy food. I'm not eating poorly, but I could be eating much better. Trying to focus on fruit and veggies, that kind of stuff. You know, so that might be one area that could kind of fall apart. Maybe I might wake up and I'll just feel like my body's been hit by a train, basically, or something like that. I'm just using myself as an example so that you can kind of get an idea of what I mean. Or maybe you're not focusing on something at work, or maybe you're not focusing on your relationship, or, you know, whatever that is. You know, this isn't, yes, this is a grief card in some readings. In this reading, this is just a progression. I don't think that this is going to be so much of a catastrophe as the 5 of Cups is in other situations, especially in a love reading, for example. This is more of, whoa, pay attention, you know. Yes, focus on your dreams. And when these things build up and they come at you, and you've got to be like, okay, I've got to take care of this stuff, you know. Just know it's not a catastrophe, you know, you're going to get it done. And look at these 2 cups that this cat isn't even looking at, right? Obviously in traditional tarot, it's not a cat, it's a person. But I'm using the tarot of pagan cat, so it's a cat. So, you know, also remember that for some of you, the message is sometimes we focus on the negative, not realizing what we already have. And so focusing on what you already have right there and right here, that's important. But don't let all those like things that you'd rather not spend as much time with, whatever they are for you, pile up too much, or else it can be overwhelming. And then you've got the 7 of Swords, which is, in this deck, a lot like the same kind of energy as this one and this one, in that you've got a cat, it's sleeping, it doesn't really want to do anything, you've got mice all over, it just doesn't care. It just doesn't care. There's mice everywhere, there's chaos happening, it's got all of its swords, so it feels protected, right? As long as I surround myself with swords, nothing's gonna attack me. Nothing's gonna hurt me. As long as I have my wall up, as long as I have my thoughts clear, and as long as I'm, you know, thinking really clearly and doing all of these things, it's not even going to matter. Because nothing can touch me, right? Nothing can touch me when I'm in my thoughts, right? That's what's happening in the energy of this card. Actually, there's some things that can just start piling up, you know. So this really feels like pile up energy. This feels like, oh my goodness, like try to manage everything, and if it's hard to manage, understand that sometimes we're supposed to have weeks where we just can't manage everything because, oh my gosh, we are human, okay? And as a human, we've got these minds that are capable of immense creativity, universes of information, right? Just absolute universes of thought and creative energy. And bringing all of that to the world is something that we want to do. We are designed to do as human beings, right? And so we want to bring so many of those things into the world that sometimes it does pile up. And it doesn't pile up because we are wrong to try to take on so much. It piles up because we're human to take on so much, okay? We are these spiritual beings that have this enormous potential, you know, and we know that we do. That's why we take on all of these things that we take on. But we're also human that are fallible and can make mistakes, and you know, we're clumsy in the 3rd dimension, right? So when we try to translate that to reality, it can just get a little overwhelming. It's okay, all right? You've got receiving from angels right now. Shimmering wings of angels embrace me with love. I try to stay away from certain dogmas when I'm talking about my readings, okay? So this card represents for me that the universe has you, you know, the spirit has you, whatever word, goddess, God, whatever word works for you, your higher self, the subconscious, is something more that can't really be named, is working to help you in this situation. So please let that bring you some peace as you're going through this. Okay, so the Lenormand cards, we've got the dog, and then we've got the snake. Okay, and so this can mean 2 things as I read it. Okay, because I'm always talking about how Lenormand is not so symbolic, it's pretty literal. The snake card for me has 2 meanings, and I just can't pick which meaning works, and I think the reason I can't pick it is that both of them are true. And I think that this is one of those either or for most of my audience here. Most of the viewers, you're going to experience either one of these things happening or the other, but not both. So you've got a friend. This is about a friend, okay? It can also be your loyalties, but it's most likely about a friend. And the snake is a friend that, like, a biting comment, you know, or something that's hurtful, maybe critical, that kind of thing. Just understand that if you get any criticism from your friends right now, it's supposed to be helpful, okay? The friend card's first, okay? They're trying to be your friend. And that biting comment, you know, or whatever they might say that might feel critical, that criticism is done, is trying to, they're trying to do that to help you, not to hurt you. Don't feel like this is a negative friend, okay? This isn't the fox, right? There's a fox card too. This isn't the fox that's sneaky and you don't really know if is it just clever or is it just devious, you know, that kind of thing. With the snake, you know, a snake's a snake, you know that. So it's just, you know, some kind of biting comment. Another thing is that a friend might have some knowledge that they want to give you. And I think that that's true for some of my viewers as well. Maybe more like 40% instead of 60% of my viewers, like a smaller amount of you guys. There's going to be a friend that wants to give you some kind of knowledge, and that knowledge is going to help you, but it's not going to help you this week. It's going to help you in the future. But this is the energy that's going on right now. So just kind of to recap, the bottom line is that basically the universe is taking care of you right now, okay? Still, remember to try to balance everything that you're trying to take on so that nothing builds up and just, you know, creates a catastrophe for you so that you have to like clean up all of these tiny little messes, right? And if you are already there where you've got these tiny little messes, it's just going to be one of those weeks, okay? That's okay. We have them, you know, next week might be like 10,000 times better, right? And then as far as the friend energy, you know, most likely you're going to experience a friend being a little critical. Maybe they're in a bad mood, whatever. It's not going to be something that's so bad that you're going to be like, no, I can't be friends with this person. And some of you might experience a friend that's got some good advice for you. All right. So looks like you've got a very busy week, but still one you can manage. Keep that in mind. All right, guys. Hi, people who picked pile 3. Let's go ahead and see what's going on for you. Oh, you guys got 4 cards. I usually pick 3, and I thought that I picked 3, but it's actually 4 cards, which is interesting. So right now, I'm getting a lot of. This is so weird. Okay. So you guys have the three of swords. I know, I know. And you've got the 9 of swords. And again, I know. What both of this means to me is that you are having a battle between your head and your heart right now, okay? And it feels like there's something from your past that you are just really agonizing over. The energy of it reminds me of something that, like, you play it over and over again, like some kind of memory or something that you wish were different or that kind of thing, and it's like first you're playing it in your heart and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna get hurt again, or the feeling is like, I'm gonna get hurt again, or this person's gonna hurt me, or this thing's gonna hurt me, or maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I can't do this emotionally, like I can't get through this. But then on the other hand, when you're not in that space, then you're in the headspace where you're worrying. You just have all of these ideas and you're inventing things that are going to happen in the future. Like, this is more of a past feeling for me, and this is more of a future thing, although I do think they overlap. It's just like, oh, and in the future, you know, everything's going to be like this and that, and what if this happens, and what if that happens? I really feel like this energy right now, while it's important to reflect on what's on your heart and what's on your mind, right now you guys are doing it to, you know, the viewers who chose pile number 3, you're doing it to a little bit of an extreme. And maybe a little bit is an understatement. You're doing it to an extreme. One thing I can say about the 9 of Swords is that the common depiction of the 9 of Swords is somebody waking up from a nightmare. And what happens when they wake up from the nightmare is that, yeah, they're in a panic. They feel horrible. In many of the tarot images, you'll see the person crying. You'll see this awful agony. But that's over. It's over. It's not happening anymore. That's not what's happening anymore. They're waking up from that. So I do think that some of this is just so that you can awaken a more positive view. It's almost kind of like when we create, we give birth to a new situation, to a new us, right? And so it's like you're having birth pains right now. It's like you're in labor right now and you're about to give birth to this awakened self. So kind of keep that in mind. And you should be able, it's so funny because you should be able to experience that even this week. You've got the Six of Pentacles, which indicate balance. And you've also got the Two of Pentacles, which, you know, it does have the same kind of energy of this, like, balance between head and heart, you know, this juggling, this, like, oh, I've got this, but then I've got that, and, you know, and also kind of wanting to, like, really wanting to explore that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to explore your feelings or wanting to explore your thoughts. It's great. That's actually healthy. Just sometimes we can get into a dark place, and what we have to remember is that, you know, this Six of Pentacles card, you know, we can still be happy. We can still give and receive and have parties and celebrate that which we do have, even though we're in a place where we might feel a little unbalanced. Your oracle card is stepping into stillness. My power is born in the majesty of silence. Oh, that is so perfect. And you've got the moon card, or you've got the moon symbol, and she's, this figure in this symbol is being aware of the moon, right? So the moon for me always represents like something hidden, something unconscious, something that's in the shadows, right? But she's facing it, okay? So this is you facing your shadows right now. And when you face that, yes, it's painful, but you end up coming out of that a completely different person, like a person that's stronger. So you are going to be stronger for this, okay? And then for the Lenormand, okay, this makes sense. We've got some slow movement and we've got confusion, okay? So right now, I mean, unfortunately, in your mental space, in your psyche, there's going to be some confusion, right? But what this reminds us of is that the confusion, you've got the dark side and the light side of the card, okay? The clouds, they block the sun for a little bit, but the sun is always still there, okay? You are going to be slowly moving into that light where you're feeling a lot better. And I feel like this is, I mean, slow movement, you know, in a larger reading, in a reading that's more personalized, is going to be more like months and that kind of thing. I just feel like this is like your movement through the week. Like you're going to start out at the beginning of the week feeling kind of overwhelmed and stressed and just yucky, you know, and you've got like the clouds and the rain here. You might not be able to see the rain as well, but then in this we've got the rain and clouds as well. So you know, you start out in this kind of like, just this yucky frame of mind, you know, but you're still slowly moving through the week and you're getting to that point where you reach the weekend and you're like, there's light being brought to the situation. You're stepping into stillness. All of this chaos, you're able to, it's like the dust has been kicked up and you let all of that dust settle by the end of the week, and you are still, you are calm. You are a master of your head and your heart, and you know exactly where you need to go next. And this can also represent a trip. I really don't think that that's going on here, but since we have the water and the ships in this card as well, I just want to mention that some of you guys might be taking a trip this week or learn about a trip that you're going to be taking this week. So if you're like me, you stalk those internet sites that tell you when like tickets go on sale and things like that. So you might find out about a really good deal on tickets to go someplace that you've wanted to go, you know, something like that. Or this could actually have to do with literally somebody that lives far away. And, you know, this is a weekly general. This isn't specifically about love, but of course our love life is going to be a part of our weekly issues. So something else to just kind of keep in mind is that if you're longing, the boat can also be longing. If you're longing for somebody far away, if there's that distance and you're really feeling that distance, you're really feeling that, just know that it's going to get better. It's going to be a lot better, okay? And you guys aren't, this isn't like a ending, okay? This is, you guys are still moving up in your relationship, okay? So just in case there's any kind of relationship that's just really bringing you down, and that's the thing that you're going through this week, that should resolve itself just fine, because again, you're moving toward the light. Now, if it was like this, then it might be a little bit different, but it's not. It's like this. So, so you're gonna be great. You're gonna be good. Okay, you guys have a lot of stuff to do, but ultimately, by the end of this week, you are gonna be like so much better than you have been in a long time. So it's great. Some shadow work. Unfortunately, very painful, but also very rewarding as well. Hi guys, thank you so much for sticking through this reading to the very end. Again, I thank each and every one of you for watching. Love your feedback. If you have a suggestion for a pick a card reading, go ahead and leave that in the comments. And again, everything that you might need to know about me is going to be in the description below. All right, see you tomorrow.